Welcome to the Sacred Shit Show, the podcast for women who are done performing wellness and ready for the real conversation. I'm Hannah Strange, holistic practitioner, best-selling author, and the woman who will always tell you what nobody else in the wellness space wants to say out loud. This is season 5, Capacity, the woman who can hold it all. And today's episode is why you can't hold success yet and no one's telling you this. So let's get into it. I want to ask you something today that I generally don't think enough people are asking. So what if success isn't something that you've been failing to achieve, but something you've been unconsciously refusing to keep? Because there is a pattern I see constantly in women that I work with. And I lived it myself for years before I understood what was actually happening. So it goes like this. You work incredibly hard. You build something. You call something in. And then, just as it starts to arrive, just as the thing you've been working towards begins to actually land, something shifts. You overwork yourself. You raise the bar before you've had a chance to celebrate where you are. You create chaos in the middle of stability. You pull back just before the breakthrough. You find a reason, somehow, why now still isn't quite enough. And from the outside, it looks like self-sabotage. And maybe you've called it that yourself. Maybe you've spent time in that story. The one where something is fundamentally wrong with you. Where you are your own worst enemy. Where you can't just seem to get out of your own way. But it was never sabotage. It was your nervous system doing something entirely illogical given everything that it has lived through. It was your body saying, I don't know how to be safe here. I don't know how to trust this. I have never learned that this is good and good things stay. And today, we're going to talk about why that happens, what it actually means, and what it looks like to begin building the capacity to not just achieve success, but to actually hold it. One of the clearest examples of this in my life was when the Strange Apothecary started generally becoming successful. Not successful in the scraping by, just about managing way. I had been operating in that for years, but actually successful. Awards were coming in, opportunities were growing, the business was scaling in ways that I had dreamed about in the hard years when I wasn't sure that I was going to survive it all. And instead of feeling safe enough to receive it, instead of landing in it and celebrating it, letting it be the arrival that it actually was, my nervous system started panicking. I overworked myself into the ground. I stopped resting. I kept raising the bar before I could even acknowledge what we had already achieved. And I subconsciously started creating chaos because peace and stability felt so unfamiliar to my body that they registered as threat rather than reward. I did the same thing socially for years. When life started genuinely getting better, when people truly loved me and supported me and wanted to be close to me, there was still a part of me that permanently braced for it to disappear. After growing up in instability, homelessness, addiction, abuse, and having the rug pulled from under me over and over again, safety itself felt suspicious. So instead of fully letting myself land in the good, Instead of allowing myself to actually experience having made it out, I'd stay hypervigilant. I'd emotionally brace for the loss I was convinced was coming. I'd keep myself so busy that I never had to sit still long enough to feel how far I'd actually come. Because sitting in the good felt more dangerous than surviving the bad. And that is the thing that nobody tells you about self-sabotage. It isn't self-destruction, it's self-protection. It's a nervous system that learned through years of real lived evidence that good things don't stay, that safety is temporary, that the moment you relax into something is the moment that it gets taken away. And until you understand that, until you stop calling it a sabotage and start calling it what it actually is, you will keep dismantling the very thing you have worked so hard for.
Dear listener, it's me, Herbal Moonbeam, guardian of the green, listener to the wisdom that lives in bodies, and your gentle guide here at the Strange Apothecary. While our host steps away to tend her tea, let me settle beside you for a moment. Have you felt it lately? That deep, steady fatigue that rest alone doesn't touch. The sense that your body has slowed the pace, not because you failed, but because it needed safety more than speed. When the body hits the brakes, it isn't rebellion, it's intelligence. And that low hum inside you, the one whispering there must be another way to live, isn't dissatisfaction, it's memory. This is where the Sacred Portal opens. The Sacred Portal is a 6-month group-held multi-dimensional healing journey for those who are done trying to heal in isolation and done being told they should already be over it. Together, over 6 months, we move slowly and deliberately through the 5 layers that shape your lived experience: body, mind, energy, soul, and spirit. Not to ascend out of life, but to finally feel safe inside it. Inside the portal, there is no fixing, no pressure to perform healing the right way, no bypassing the body in favour of insight. Instead, we work with somatic rituals that teach your nervous system it no longer has to stay on guard, subconscious patterning that softens survival without ripping it away, energy work that clears what never belonged to you, and soul remembrance that doesn't hype you up, it settles you back into. This container is held as one group, one path, one shared rhythm. Because healing doesn't happen through hierarchy, it happens through safety, witnessing, and regulation in relationship. The Sacred Portal isn't for those chasing a better version of themselves, it's for those ready to stop leaving themselves behind. The portal is now open for enrolment. One path, one group, 6 months of being held in a way most systems never taught you was possible. And because we honour the land that carries us, every enrolment plants a tree, rooting your healing into something living. And so if your body feels quieter as you listen, if something in you has softened instead of tensed, that's not coincidence. You already recognise this pace. Visit thesacredportal.co.uk or follow the link waiting for you in the show notes. The Sacred Portal. You were never broken, your system was protecting you. Now then, sweet soul, my wings are beginning to shimmer, which means it's time to drift gently back into your journey.
Oh, thank you, Herbal. So we do hope to see some of you joining us inside the Sacred Portal in September. That is when our next cohort starts. We have just come to halfway for this cohort, and the transformations, the breakthroughs, everything that we've been seeing has been so beautiful, and it is such a blessing to be part of that experience for people. So let's get back to what I was talking about before. So what is actually happening here? Because this is where the nervous system science meets the lived experience in a way that I think is genuinely life-changing when it lands. Your nervous system builds what's called a neuropathway. The deeply grooved patterns of response based on repeated experience. And when you grow up in an environment where safety is unpredictable, where good things consistently get taken away, and where love comes with conditions or chaos attached to it, your nervous system builds a very specific pathway around what feels normal. And that pathway becomes your baseline, your nervous system's definition of home. Not because it's good for you, but because it's familiar. And to your nervous system, familiar is safe. Even when familiar is painful, even when familiar is survival mode, even when familiar is chaos and instability and waiting for everything to fall apart. This is what the researcher Gay Hendricks calls the upper limit problem. The idea that we each have an internal thermostat, a set point for how much goodness, success, love, and stability we can allow ourselves to experience before our system starts working to bring things back down to what we recognize as normal. And when you have a nervous system that has been calibrated in survival, that spent its formative years learning that good things don't last, that peace is suspicious, that you need to stay ready because the fall is always coming. Your upper limit can be set devastatingly low. So when success starts to arrive, when love starts to feel real, and when stability starts to settle in, your nervous system doesn't celebrate. It sounds the alarm. It reads the unfamiliar goodness as a threat and starts working, often completely outside of your conscious awareness, to bring things back to a level it knows how to hold. That's the overworking when things are going well. That's the chaos creation in the middle of peace. That's the hypervigilance in the middle of genuine love and support. And that's the inability to celebrate before raising the bar again. It is not self-sabotage. It is an upper limit response from a nervous system that has never been taught that it is safe to stay in the good. And the answer, the real answer, not the surface level one, is not positive thinking, it's not gratitude journaling, and it's not deciding to try harder or want it more. It is expanding your capacity to hold goodness, training your nervous system to recognize safety as safe, raising that internal thermostat 1 degree at a time until your baseline is no longer survival, but something that actually feels like the life you have been building towards. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Every time you have dismantled something good, every time you have overworked in the middle of success, created chaos in the middle of peace, pulled back from love that was real, or found a way to make sure things never quite fully landed, it was not because you are broken or self-destructive or fundamentally unable to have what you want. It was because your nervous system was doing the most loving thing it knew how to. It was protecting you from the pain it had learned to expect from things that felt too good to be true. You are not self-sabotaging yourself. You are surviving the only way you knew how. And now that you can see it for what it actually is, you get to do something different about it. You get to begin teaching your nervous system that this time it is allowed to stay, that the good things are real, that safety is not a trap, and that you have actually genuinely made it out. That is the work. And you are doing it by being here. This week, I want you to notice your upper limit in action. Watch for the moments when something good happens, a win, a compliment, an opportunity, a moment of genuine peace or connection, and notice what your nervous system does with it. Do you immediately minimize it? Move the goalposts? get busy, create a problem to solve, or brace for the other shoe to drop. Just notice, without judgment, without trying to fix it. And when you catch it, say this to yourself: my nervous system is at its upper limit right now. This is not a threat. This is just unfamiliar, and I am safe in this. That's it. That's the practice this week. Because you cannot expand what you cannot see yet. So come back tomorrow for the imprint episode, where we're going to work with your upper limit directly and begin the gentle, powerful practice of teaching your body that it is safe to receive. Before I close today, I want to say something to the woman who has always been wondering for years why she keeps getting in her own way. The one who has built beautiful things and watched herself quietly dismantle them. Who has been loved by good people and found a way to keep one foot out of the door. Who has worked so hard for a level of success when it finally started arriving, it felt more terrifying than the struggle ever did. That woman is not broken. She's not her own enemy. She is someone whose nervous system needs to learn at a deep cellular level that it is finally safe to land. That is the work of the Sacred Shit Show membership. Real, ongoing, supported nervous system work inside a community of women who are building exactly this. The capacity to hold the life they have been calling in without dismantling it before it can take root. For £22 a month, you get that container, that community, that support. And if you're ready to stop upper limiting yourself out of the life that you have earned, come and join us. The link is in the show notes, and I'll see you inside.